Hey everybody, hey, it's Ryan here from CDH for another 5 Minute Friday. So you might notice I'm wearing my rain hat today. That's because it's been raining intensely here in Detroit for like the last, I don't know, 48 hours. And so yards are starting to get flooded, streets are flooded. There's the land is resisting all of the water that's being pushed down on it. And the interesting thing is I had a meeting with a governance team, and they were kind of complaining of the similar kind of thing. And we weren't talking about water, but they were talking about like the rate of change. And the concept that we ended up talking about was that hey, only an organization can only absorb so much change over a period of time. They have a ratio of absorption, just like the ground and the earth has a ratio of absorption for water. So it's the same kind of concept. And the interesting thing was I worked with this team about, I don't know, 5 months ago, and we stood up their Office 365 environment, gave them migrated content from an on-premise environment to SharePoint Online, introduced them to Teams and Yammer, came up with here's your kind of like phase one tools you want to get launched, and kind of laid out a structured set of plans. So this was kind of like my checkup, my follow-up meeting with them and say, hey, how's it going? Where are you guys at? And they're like, I go, where have you had success? They go, we've had great success with Yammer. And they told me all these great stories about how they're using it for company engagement, employee engagement, and all these great things. And then I said, well, how have you guys done with some of the other objectives? And they're like, well, not so good. And they're really apologetic. And I was like, well, whoa, what's going on? But they told me that, Ryan, we've had a change in executive leadership, and since that's this time, and it's been a lot of, we've been really dealing with that and getting them up to speed and dealing with their cultural changes, those kind of things. And then I said, I kind of put a game of timeout. Says it's okay. Then you guys have absorbed enough change already. You've already rolled out Yammers very, very successfully, and you're dealing with the organizational change of having a new executive team. Then you guys are doing just fine. You've hit your ratio of max absorption. And about that time, like the room just kind of was this big sigh of like, oh, okay, we're okay. I'm okay. You're okay. This is okay. And I was like, okay, well, what do you guys want to? You're fine. What do you would like to do next? What's your next set of goals? And I found myself, instead of a lot of times in governance, we're just leading and answering questions. I found myself as a role of a coach, of kind of coaching them through this process of like, hey, you're doing just fine. This is totally acceptable. This is what is normal. Okay, this is the normal kind of change management you guys are enduring. So that was my big takeaway, is an encouragement to you folks watching, is that number one, there is a rate of change, and know what it is, and know that your organization can only handle so much over a period of time. And number two, be mindful of what that is, and kind of plan for that, and know that, hey, I can only accomplish certain tick marks of change and organizational change within my organization, especially with technology. So with that, folks, that's my 5 Minute Friday for today, is remember those two things. You have a rate of change and be okay with it. And then also, if you're on the consultant side of things like I am, then you want to take an approach more like almost like a coach for some of your governance teams, to tell them, hey, yeah, I want to lead you through this process, but I also want to facilitate you guys kind of coming to your own decisions, and kind of give people that you're all right. It'll be okay. So thanks. We'll appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.